dog ladies, penguins, just happen to be watchers of this program. My name is Envy Addams. Do you hate it? I hate it. So, welcome to a late edition. This is episode 2 of All Stars 8. My name is Envy Addams. Jimmi Pynk couldn't be here today. So, I'm filling in for my twin sister. And let's get into this episode. So, Kahana also chose Monica Beverly Hills to go home. She was very upset about it, which made me very happy. There were a lot of tears. But the vote was 7-4. That means 4 people voted for Kahana Montrese. We can assume it was Monica Beverly Hills for 1 vote. The other 3 were people who voted their feelings, empathy, disgusting. But from the Black Lady sketch show, our guest judge is Robin Thede. And the main challenge is RDR Live, which is actually just Saturday Night Live, but you couldn't use Saturday Night Live. And of course, because RuPaul recently hosted SNL, well, the challenges have to be everything that Mother Ru does, doesn't it? Anyway, so they have to pick roles. And the roles basically spread out pretty even, except for one. Naysha Lopez, who conceded in being an anchor for the news to be Dr. Blackwell, would have been my choice. Anyway, so every one of these skits, for those of you that are not versed well in Saturday Night Live, each one of these sketches are based on another sketch, an original sketch from SNL. So the CDC cold opening is very familiar with Saturday Night Live and their topical humor. But I did love the skit. I loved how it was an epidemic of drag race franchises. Because honestly, same, and I want the vaccine. But I thought most of the people in that sketch did a pretty good job. I thought James Mansfield was wonderful as Dr. Ouchie. We had LaLaurie and Heidi in Closet as just some other scientists in the building, just playing the backup role and doing a bit of ad-lib. And then we had Valley Girl Naysha Lopez. She was so busy trying to be a character that the jokes didn't land. I might know something about that. but it just didn't work. I didn't understand why that was the characterization that she decided to do. I didn't understand why she was like a ditzy blonde, but then your wardrobe was like you were a doctor and a scientist. Get it together. But that's why we call you elimination. In the meantime, the next skit was the Bimbo McCall Girls ad. That is also a common Saturday Night Live. It's a little bit of an older sketch. It's usually an infomercial, and it's with two airheaded bimbos. Usually, it's more of like an infomercial, but this is fine. This was great. Jimbo and Jessica Wilde did a fantastic job, but I have to tell you, my standout was Mrs. Kasha Davis as Barb. Not only did Mrs. Kasha Davis make sure the jokes hit and that we got all of the sexual innuendo, she was fabulous in the opening monologue with Candy Muse. And you know I loved Mrs. Kasha's black and white checkerboard dress. But also, I thought Candy Muse did an amazing, wonderful, fantastic job doing that monologue. I have seen celebrities on actual SNL whose monologue was not delivered that well. I'm looking at you, RuPaul. Anyway, but that was fantastic. Mrs. Kasha Davis was fantastic in that. The sketch was fine. I know everybody is raving how funny Jimbo was in that sketch. A lot of that was makeup and characterization, which is fine. You do need that. But should she have won this week? We'll get into it. So then we have our weekend update. I'm sure you guys all know that is a staple of Saturday Night Live. And we have Lala Ree and Heidi N Closet as our anchors. Our Colin and Michael Che, if you will. They were great, but Heidi N Closet's comedic timing is mwah, chef's kiss. It was fantastic. Of course, with her soft and subtle whispers in the S's that RuPaul suggested for her to do, it paid off. It was hilarious, and she delivered the jokes well. And then we had Pussy Jones. Here's the problem. Did Kahana do a poor job? No. Did she do worse than Naysha Lopez? No. Was it funny? No. She had one moment that was funny when they explained to her what it meant for your pussy to be a flame. And when she slipped into her, my bad, that was funny, and that should have been the whole joke. And it was not there. Finally, we have coffee talk. I'm having my black coffee with white cream now. But that is the old Mike Myers sketch with the jersey, except for they worshipped Barbara. They worshipped Barbara. You know, the singer. Instead, it's Michelle Visage. Now, I personally thought Darian Lake did a fantastic job. Not saying that Alexis Michelle did not, but Darian Lake gave me the winner's circle. I thought she was fantastic. I thought her accent was done better. She was giving me Saturday Night Live quality of the sketch. The problem with the sketch is the sketch in itself was not funny. How are you saying what's your favorite summer movie and it's fried green tomatoes, That movie is 30 years old. It is not the year for the Summer Olympics. It was a bad skit. Sorry, not sorry. But Darian Lake was able to elevate that. And for that, I thought she should have been in the top. So I also love that Jessica Wilde says she knows what a golden shower is now. She even does them. That was hilarious. So I think we can go ahead at this point. And I neglected to mention Bobby Monahan was here. And Kahana went home when Bobby Monahan was a judge. And she's in the bottom again. Irony, I guess. Or was that just secretly, you know? Okay, so we went over the sketches. We went how well everybody did over the sketches. Let's go into the runway. And the runway was the Net Gala. Well, since Jimmi couldn't be here. And again, down to the socks. So the Net Gala. Our first person, before we do that, RuPaul is saving all of the good looks for All Stars. All the good bops too. No pun intended, she bop. But this aubergine with this platinum blonde afro was stunning. It looked good. But the Net Gala, and we have Naysha Lopez. She's beautiful, she's back, she's in black, so I loved it. I thought it was stunning, I thought the wig looked good. Naysha is a pretty girl. I think where we're just at in All Stars is a pretty girl needs to be elevated. I had no problem with the look. I could have used a bigger, earring. But I don't think she was any less than anybody else on that runway. Especially when we've got what's coming up. Woof. James Mansfield. I thought it was very clever and very on brand for her to do the old school roller set with the net covering it with the hairspray. And the outfit, I don't know if the outfit was reading net enough for me. But then one of my favorite looks on the runway was a very literal net. So I'll allow it. And James Mansfield, this was great. And very on brand for you, very campy. And I enjoyed it, even though it was that ghastly bright pink. Candy Muse also in bright pink. She's giving you Balenciaga. She's giving you the bodysuit, that's the shoe and the glove, all connected. Wonderful, fine. But this mesh piece that had her face adorning her chest was just a level of genius that I quite enjoyed. And I loved that very tight, slick, snatched ponytail. I thought that was fabulous. I'm still on the fence with her. Mrs. Kasha Davis. Do you hate it? I hate it. Do you hate it? I hate it. This was god-awful. The hair was fine with the butterflies in it and everything. It was fine. But I don't know what this schoolmarm skirt and boot was doing. It was black and gothic in a way that I did not enjoy. It just looked old, not vintage. It looked like schoolmarm. And then this velvet corset. Are we really going to do velvet with butterflies. Butterflies are so light and springy. If we're going to do velvet, keep it in the dark, dank, sensual, rich, Victorian even. Keep velvet for the time and the era that velvet should be in. Not to adorn with pretty, light, fluttery, colorful butterflies. And then that cape and this net on the side, it was awful. And I enjoy things that are awful. But I did not enjoy this. And I believe this is why Kasha Davis was just safe and not in the top. Was because of this god-awful travesty of an outfit. Jimbo's I absolutely loved. It was black, it was silver, it was futuristic and creepy. And she gave you net in a different way. Internet, influencer, AI, black, dark. Dare I say, cyberpunk. It was fabulous. I did not like the silver crotch part though. That we could have did without that. Jessica Wilde also did sweet, colorful butterflies, but at least she did it in the way that it should have been. She had butterflies in the nets of her sleeves, pouches on her pants, in her sleeves, nude illusion bodysuit, white fishnet bodysuit over with butterflies, pastel colorful hair. I mean, if you're going to do butterflies, and do it clever. Do a butterfly net clever. I enjoyed it. Next, we have Heidi in Closet, friend of the show, and good sister Heidi came through. This was high fashion. This was New York Fashion Week. I adored the shaved on the side wig with the bob. It fit perfectly. And of course, she is going to give you the branding, the lips with the gap adorning everything in this iridescent fuchsia with the matching lipstick to die for. Heidi in Closet, your pussy is a flame. La La Ree, I really loved this. It was gothic, but now it was sexy, giving you landing strip. It was giving you I'm nude under here, but it's giving me Victorian and gothic with these big black sleeves. And then this black sheer, and it's long, and it's a gown, no notes. Kahana Montrese. What is the saying that my twin always says? Oh, she devoured dinner and she didn't leave any leftovers or crumbs. That. Kahana Montrese is here to win. Kahana Montrese is here to prove a point. Kahana Montrese wants to win. This look was phenomenal. It was giving me sea goddess, the crown, the scepter. The cape was fishnet, giving me Natasha from She-Ra. It was fabulous. And it is the best look of the week yet again. Now we have Darian Lake. Now, even though Kahana Montrese was the best look of the week, my favorite look was Darian Lake. I love beauty with a side of camp. And she came out with a basketball hoop, nothing but net, darling. But this orange ball gown, full ball gown, with black stripes to make it look like a basketball, and the waist was this small. I'm so into orange right now. Shh, don't tell anybody that. But it was fun. And that ponytail with the tendrils coming down, the platinum blonde, it was just well executed, and it is my favorite look. Alexis Michelle. I am really torn on Miss Alexis Michelle's look because it was a stunning, operatic, high class, very close to being gothic, tan gown with black netting over it. Stunning. She looked stunning, regal, absolute perfection. Where I am torn is, was it really giving me enough net? I understand that the whole dress was overlaid in net. But for a net runway, when we had some very literal definitions, we had some very camp definitions, to just really come out and just do, well, it's a gown, but it's net. And it really was just a beautiful gown, not a see-through, not any, I'm not sure. But she did stand out because no one else did that. I'm just not sure if I enjoyed it. And we did get a quick look at Monica Beverly Hill's net look, and that is what I was expecting. I was like, watch, it just happened to be the wrong first looks. I really enjoyed her runway look. Was it still a little bit basic and literal? Yes, but it was far and away the best look I've seen her in. Okay, so your tops and bottoms of the week. Heidi in closet, and I agree. We also had Jimbo James Mansfield in the top. I just disagree. I really feel like my tops were Heidi, Darian, and Mrs. Kasha Davis. Mrs. Kasha Davis' runway excluded her from being in the top. But I do not think that Darian Lakes did. And if you wanted to do a fourth top, Jimbo, I saw no place for the other people that they had as tops, with the exception of Heidi in closet. But again, this week, we have a very, very clear bottom two. And the bottom two were very, very, very clearly Kahana Montrese and Naysha Lopez. Well, we all know the girls voted for Naysha Lopez, and rightfully so. Kahana won last week. And again, have you been seeing these runways? And if you want to know whose fire was really there, like, it's fairly obvious that Kahana is here to win. With the exception of Naysha Lopez, anybody that voted for Kahana is a hater. Now, I love to hate, but don't be that bitch. Ugh. School buses. Let's hurry up. So, Jimbo is crowned the top of the week. Lip sync battle. We get Pangina Heels. Wonderful. Lovely. The lip sync is to She Bop, an ode to female pleasure. How do I want to put this? Dancing with themselves. Oh. I cracked the joke. That's hilarious. Anyway, Jimbo was giving me We Are the Misfits, Our Songs Are Better, And you know that I'm definitely here for that. I'm chanting a little bit of the Misfits myself. I'm giving Miss Roxy today. But Pangina Hills is the lip sync assassin. Pangina Hills was really, really giving it to me. She was really giving me the song. She was really acting out the song. And believe it or not, She Bop by Cyndi Lauper is one of my favorite songs of all time. So she did it for me. And of course, when she spread her legs, so vulgar in the best way. Untucked. Only things I can say is Darian was disappointed she was not in the top. So was I. And I want to talk finally about Jessica Wilde. Jessica Wilde, are you giving us a produced moment? Are you giving us a produced moment? Because I'm trying to figure out, when did I even see you and Naysha Lopez interact to the point where you were full-fledged boo-hooing that she left like that was your best Judy in the competition? And that's fine. She's the only other Puerto Rican. I'm not mad because I'm rooting for everybody and everything black. It's kind of my deal. But where is this coming from? Outside of because she's the only other Puerto Rican person, why are you boo-hooing like that? And why are you lying to that girl and telling her she didn't do bad? Anyway, that's it for season 2, episode 2 of RuPaul's Drag Race. I thank you for inviting me back. It's been quite a long time since I've been here, darling. This net over my eye, it looks fabulous, but it's very restricting to my vision. So I'm going to finish my black and white coffee, and I'm going to go ahead and forward this to Jimmi to edit. She would have my hide if I did not remind you all to like, subscribe, comment, let us know what you think. Also, nostalgiamask.com, where her items are for sale. And of course, she has PayPal, Cash App, all of those things to support her channel. So with that, I thank you once again for having me. Jimmi will be back tomorrow for episode 3. I gotta get the fuck up out of here.